have been following, but it is something that has been building throughout the day in the United States. So ABC, most recently, as you say, has come out and confirmed that they are preempting Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely is the word that is used. So no plans at this point to have Jimmy Kimmel Live back on the air. It comes after the affiliate station earlier today, one of the ABC affiliate stations, had said that it was going to individually not be broadcasting Jimmy Kimmel Live. And that is a bit of a domino effect here, but that comes after the FCC chair on a podcast earlier today had suggested that the federal broadcast regulator, that's what the FCC is, would or could revoke ABC affiliate licenses as a way to ultimately punish Disney being the parent company of ABC. If you're following me here, the affiliates, many of them are owned by Nexstar, and so far in terms of a statement coming, this is the most fulsome one that we have in terms of this decision that's been made. But this Nexstar statement reads, Mr. Kimmel's comments about the death of Mr. Kirk are offensive and insensitive at a critical time in our national political discourse, and we do not believe that they reflect the spectrum of opinions, views, or values of the local communities in which we are located. Continuing to give Mr. Kimmel a broadcast platform in the communities we serve is simply not in the public interest at the current time, and we have made the difficult decision to preempt his show in an effort to let cooler heads prevail as we move toward the resumption of respectful dialogue, constructive dialogue. So as I say, the words indefinitely are being used in terms of the time period in which Jimmy Kimmel Live will not be live.
Okay, so just to put this in perspective and why we're looking at this story this evening that just broke. So Jimmy Kimmel, you have an incredibly prominent late-night talk show host in the United States on the ABC network. The FCC chair on a podcast that CNN is describing as far right, makes comments about how what Jimmy Kimmel said was inappropriate, and now you have this this company that owns a bunch of ABC affiliates saying, we don't want to play this, and Disney pulls it. So what did Jimmy Kimmel say? What are the comments that justify all this? Well, Sarah, what were they?
The important thing to know here is these are comments that were made on Monday after a weekend in which the talk show circuits, the murder of Charlie Kirk had certainly dominated, and a lot of was being said. Monday night also was before Tuesday, obviously, and on Tuesday we heard from the Utah State prosecutor a bulk of evidence that they plan to bring forward against Tyler Robinson, who is charged with the murder of Charlie Kirk. But a lot on the weekend talk shows had dealt with who the suspect might have been or who he was, motivation, where he came from. And Jimmy Kimmel took issue with a lot of what he had heard on the talk show circuit. Here is the clip from the monologue on Monday night that seems to be the issue here.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving.
Now, that is a portion of that monologue. It does go on, and when he talks about the grieving, it is not in a flattering portrayal of the U.S. President Donald Trump. In fact, he pokes fun at the grieving process or the way that the U.S. President talks about how he's been doing since the death of, admittedly, his friend, Charlie Kirk. It's well established that the two of them are quite close. We also, I think it's widely reported that the FCC chair, who was on that podcast talking about possibly revoking licenses, he is also close with the U.S. President Donald Trump. And so that is also what is sparking this as a very big story, I think, not just in the United States, but really across North America. This is a show that is certainly broadcast or has been broadcast here in Canada as well, but a lot of talk about the fact that it would be abruptly taken off the air. The discussion about censorship, what should and shouldn't be allowed, that is right now dominating U.S. discourse right now.
Yeah, so those comments, and I'm sure you can see the entire monologue or a transcript of it, does that justify indefinitely canceling a show? And the whole discussion, as you say, about free speech and cancel culture and the left and the right, it's kind of yelling at each other about what the other finds acceptable or not acceptable. A lot to digest, and this has only been developing less than an hour.
Yeah, less than an hour now.
Okay, Sarah, thank you so much.
You bet.